I started a movie today. I'm about halfway through because it's almost 3 hours, and I can't just sit through a movie that long. I just can't. And it's the movie Heat. It has Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, like the list goes on and on. Like it's impressive how many like huge actors there are in it. And while I was watching it, it hit me why movies aren't as good now. Because they can only afford a couple of good actors because they're paying such crazy amounts for the actors. And for some reason, CGI has become astronomically expensive. Well, so the theaters, movie makers, so they say. I thought technology was supposed to make things cheaper and easier. So in 2005, it costs less money and it looks not that much worse than it does in 2026, yet it costs 100 times more, it seems like. And when you have like this huge list of these awesome actors, well, that means almost every scene has good acting in it, where if you only have one or two like top actors and you pay them so much that you really can't hire anyone of note, you have to just hire like, oh, we'll just fill out the roster with these nobodies that aren't good, but we have him, we have her, so people will come see. Well, then the quality is going to go down. Like, isn't that obvious? And it's going to tip, like with athletes, to where you can only pay someone so much and get nothing in return for it. That's not a good business model. And I think sports are headed down that path too. Mickey says in Rocky that there's nothing worse for a fighter than to get civilized. And that's how I kind of feel about sports. Like there's nothing worse than for an athlete to have all this money and get comfortable, because you're like, I've heard guys talk about fighters, and when they get the huge paychecks, like, fighting is hard on your body, on your mind, and you're not going to work as hard if you have $100 million in the bank. It's just, how can you? Like, that's what you grind for, is to be successful and to have money so you don't have to do that. And you see all these athletes, they work really hard, and then it's not they're getting a $10 million contract, they're getting a $250 million contract. So, and you see so many of them, when they get the big contract, just fall apart. And with it being kind of a trend, that means it has to be they take their foot off the gas pedal. And eventually, maybe it won't because of gambling. Who knows? Maybe I'm wrong, and 200 years from now, the NFL will be guys, it'll basically be track. Running up and down. No one can actually touch one another. Because we can't have lawsuits, we can't have concussions. No, no, no. They'll have lane lines like in swimming where you can reach over and just... You'll have big foam pads trying to hit the ball away. In 200 years, but people will still be gambling on it, making money, or losing money, but making money for the NFL. So maybe I'll be wrong, but you already see it in movies. So the new Avengers movie, $400 for production. So $400 million to make the movie, and $300 million for marketing. So we know that's crap. So it's probably closer to $500 to $600 million for production, and $350 to $400 for marketing, because they always lie. Like, that's just what is. Like you see it constantly because they do it over in England, and they get tax write-offs, so they have to divulge what it costs and everything, and then surprise, surprise, they lied. Shocking. To make themselves look better. Shocking. Because it's all about ego. Shocking. And so, and I heard that Robert Downey Jr. is getting $100 million for this movie. And they're going to have, like, there's no way. Because that has to be a part of the 400 million, not a part of the 700. Because marketing, he gets 100 million, like, split over because he has to go do on talk show. Like, is that how they do it? I don't know. So it's 100 million of the 700. But then what about all the other gigantic actors that you were begging to come back? If Robert Downey Jr. is getting 100 million, then they're getting 30, 40, 50 to come back. So you have 4 or 5 actors, actresses, 6. Next thing you know, you're up to 400 million just to pay the actors and the actresses. So how on earth with all, and because they were like, oh, the CGI, it's so hard, it's so expensive, oh my God. It doesn't make any sense to me. All this technology, and yet they act like they have to go in there and pedal a bike to get the CGI machine running. Like that, they just, oh my God, it's so hard and so expensive. And my dad was talking about, like, people on YouTube that they have to post constantly. There's always content, and I started laughing at him. I was like, everybody acts like everything is so difficult so they can act superior. That's what people do. They act like they're so, like, it just, oh, my job is so difficult, it's so stressful, oh my God. And then I watch them, and I'm like, I saw you sitting around a lot. I saw you gabbing to everyone around you, and now all of a sudden you have 10 minutes to work, 10 minutes of work, and you only have 3 minutes to do it, and you're maybe budget your time better. So that means Avengers Doomsday is probably in the $850 to $900 million range minimum of what it's going to cost to put out. So almost $1 billion to make a movie? And you're surprised that you're losing money on it? No wonder why they want AI. It's free. Well, in theory. But it's so difficult to create. It's so expensive. Who are you paying? I don't know. AI.